They crossed oceans, carried rifles heavier than their paychecks, and died in silence. But history barely whispers their names. These were the forgotten troops of World War I, heroes without medals, without pages in textbooks, without justice. When World War I broke out in 1914, the headlines focused on Europe, France, Germany, Britain. But hidden behind the trenches were soldiers from places thousands of miles away. India, Africa, the Caribbean, Southeast Asia. They were promised honor, payment, and maybe even freedom. Instead, they got mud, frostbite, and a bullet from a war they didn't start. More than 4 million non-European troops served in the Great War. Over 1.5 million Indians, 2 million Africans, and thousands from the Caribbean, Egypt, and beyond. They built roads, carried artillery, dug trenches. And yes, they fought too. But they were given inferior weapons, less food, and barely any medical care. Some were told they would be rewarded after the war. But after the fighting stopped, so did the promises. They weren't invited to the victory parades. They didn't get memorials in European cities. Some didn't even get proper graves. In 1919, Indian troops returning home by ship were treated like strangers. African soldiers were asked to remove their uniforms and quietly disappear. Caribbean soldiers, after fighting and dying for Britain, were offered jobs as servants, if anything at all. They returned home to the same poverty and prejudice they left behind, only now with scars, both seen and unseen. And here is what most people don't know. In 2006, the British government finally admitted that colonial troops were denied proper burials because of their race, not because of their ability, not because of their bravery, just because of the color of their skin. They weren't invisible. They were erased. But now you know. Don't let their stories vanish again. Heroes without medals still deserve to be remembered. If you love stories like this, real, raw, and unforgettable, hit the subscribe button. There are more hidden tales of war just waiting to be told.